Here we are. Hello. I am live for 20 minutes or something like that for some little explanations about Corfu singers. You find these Corfu singers into my website in www.luciacossu.com. It is what? It is, I'm searching for 6, maximum 10. I will work on that with them in a delayed time because it is on top of my work. It is what I call the cossuprogram that I did some time ago with focus on singers and general population with some kind of chronic voice issues. In that period, they were the doctors and the speech therapists who did send to me those people to work with. And the singers that applied directly to me were sent to doctors and speech therapists to see if they were in the advice of doing the COSU program, because I made last time in blind, so I didn't have access to the medical records and certifications and exams that they did before. And as some of you who have followed me or who know me knows, it was very successful. Successful means that everybody improved. I had a control group. Little, but it was a control group, and all the parameters into the control group remained physiological with voice improvements. In those with chronic issues, we had a complete solution of those issues in 90%, and 10% had an improvement that was bigger, huger, major than the therapies they did previously. So, COSU program this year. This year, I want to focus more, not into the health aspect, but the precedent was focused on the issues and chronic problems, just to control if COSU method was safe and valuable. So it was more important to see how it worked with not healthy voices or voices in crisis, if we can say that, or fragile voices. I work since a long time with professionals, and I find correct to control what I do since the results are unusual and quite relevant. This time I want to focus into the capacity of COSU method and of this bridging from traditional practices, and especially bel canto in this new COSU program, bridged with biomechanics, and it is an original way of bridging them, and I think it's simply how we are. So I'm just connecting the dot. I'm not really inventing something. I'm just finding original ways of bridging those things that in good practices sometimes are bridged, but they're not so specific. And it is for singers, classical and musical theater, academically trained or professionals since 5 years. Why I ask this kind of, I have this kind of requirements? Because I know what I can work and what this perspective can work, that it is something that usually now is lacking. And into my clients, very often I have to work on those specifics that are not addressed, not by medical fields, not by trainers, not by common knowledge, not by their works out in the gym. And it's quite important, and I think can be for knowledge pretty important to assess those kind of knowledge and steps forward. So if you are a classical singer, There is an age in between 18 and 48, because I don't want that the specificities of hormones of too young or too or advanced with age, when we start changing, are going to interfere into the work and the training that we are going to do. Especially if you are tenor, mezzos, sopranos, and countertenors or counterbaritons, you could have some gains into the freedom of your voice, the extension that you have, not forcibly, not only that you can make it bigger, that is usually what I do, but if you're a professional, usually you have your extension, but you can have an improvement into the tone, into the capacity of using this extension, into the nuances you can do, for what usually you think they are the gifted voices, that you find them having those kind of things. And very often with the training, you cannot get to gain so many things as they have. Custom method is a way of gaining parts of those, sometimes much more than some parts, but it's better not to claim too much. It is free from my part. What is required is the medical examinations, a stroboscopy, and a recording with the analysis of the voice, that this will be provided by the candidates. It depends on the nations, on the countries, what is going to be the charge of that, but usually it's not too much. And if you are a singer, very often you have quite exams not too old that we can use. And there must be one before and one immediately after. You have to record some phrases are part of an aria, quite difficult, of two arias, sorry, quite difficult passages of different character. We can discuss which one must be with the candidates that I will choose. Of course, we can decide together. And then we have to repeat that measure at the end. It is offered 2 sessions weekly online. If you're in Belgium, you can come in my studio here in Liège, of course. It is for you open if you want. Otherwise, we do online. I have yet some candidates from countries, even one from South Africa, US, some parts of Europe. It's quite nice. So you can apply in my website. And in my website, you find also something that is frequently asked questions about cossuprogram, about what happened in the previous one, about why I'm doing it, why I don't charge for this, why I don't use at the place of cossuprogram my students. No, I didn't answer this question. I have to put this, but I can answer now. Because I want to be more intensive, more standardized, so that we can make a comparison about the results and not too much individualized, since there are gains. There has been into the first and it was quite standardized. And I want to standardize also this one. Can be a win-win. So if you want to have 3 months bi-weekly lessons with me of 45 minutes, apply. You could be one of the candidates. In the frequently asked questions, you find many of the questions that in the time I've been asked and they were not clear, because sometimes it's not clear, of course. And hope to see you and your applications. Have a very good week and see you for video series that I will start back in New Year.